Hey everyone, welcome back to Story Time with Miss Christine. Today we're going to read about that awesome cat, that cool cat, Pete. Pete the cat. Pete the cat checks out the library. Do you know what a library is? A library is a place you can go to that has hundreds and hundreds of books, probably thousands of books that you can check out and borrow and bring home. And after you're done reading them, you can return them to the library and get new books. The library is a great place to visit. So today's story is called Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library, written and illustrated by James Dean. Let's begin. Pete the Cat checks out the library. Pete's mom is taking him to the library. For the very first time, the librarian gives Pete his very own library card. Cool, says Pete. The librarian smiles. Time for your tour. The librarian takes Pete through the library. There is a big desk where people wait to check out books. Pete sees some of his friends reading at a long table. It's very peaceful and quiet. How relaxing. The librarian takes Pete to her favorite room. There are lots of Pete-sized chairs and tables and shelves. There are books of every shape, size, and color. What do I do now? Pete asked. Now you read a book, the librarian says. Which book should I read? Asked Pete. You can read any book you like, says the librarian. Pete looks around. There are so many books. Pete picks up a book about airplanes and jets. He reads it and pretends he is a stunt pilot. He flies a super fast jet and does loop-the-loop and spirals high in the sky. What is Pete using? He's using his imagination. That's what books do. Books open up your mind to help you use your imagination. Then Pete finds a book about dragons, wizards, and unicorns. He reads it and imagines that he is a powerful wizard using magic spells and a special wand to defend his castle against a fire-breathing dragon. Next, Pete opens up a book about spiders and insects. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist studying all types of critters in the wild. He has to be very still to study some critters and very fast to study others. So a spider in this picture a spider is rather slow moving over here, where the butterfly is flying fast. Then Pete chooses a book with all sorts of scary monsters on the cover. It is a book of fairy tales. Pete reads it and pretends that he is in a dark, spooky forest trying to outsmart a big bad wolf. Pete puts that book back on the shelf. It was too scary for him. Pete opens up a book about the pyramids in Egypt. He reads it and pretends that he is an explorer riding a camel across the desert and climbing to the top of a giant pyramid. Next, Pete picks a book with all sorts of robots on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a robot at a robot dance party. His arms and legs make whizzing sounds when he moves. When Robot Pete speaks, he says bleep, bloop, bleep, bleep, bloop, bleep. Next, Pete picks up a book about superheroes. He reads it and makes believe that he is a superhero. He flies around the city in a colorful cape, chasing bad guys and saving the day. Then Pete spots a big book about the ocean and all its creatures. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist in a submarine deep in the Atlantic Ocean, looking for whales, squids, and sharks. There are so many wonderful books to read at the library. Pete can be whatever he imagines with a book. Reading is super groovy. It sure is. I hope you've enjoyed the story about Pete the Cat. See you soon.